Wednesday evening Facebook Live. We are doing this tonight as a storytelling hour, and I have a few ladies that are going to be coming on here tonight sharing their story, but I really kind of wanted to be able to start this with some health issues. Um, if you're somebody who is struggling with your blood sugar numbers, if you are somebody who's struggling with cholesterol, blood pressure. Maybe you're somebody who has some neuropathy pain that you're just trying to figure out how to alleviate some of that pain. Maybe you're somebody who's got skin tags and you're considering, the laser treatments or some ointment. Maybe you have some IBS or some gut health issues. So the statistics show us that 93% of the population in this country are metabolically unhealthy. That's almost an entire population of this country that has poor metabolic health. The problem is we don't realize it until we start seeing these metabolic health issues. So I really wanted to be able to start this off tonight with being able to, let me do this one, with being able to just kind of tell our stories. So I'm going to have a few friends come on here shortly, and then when we do that, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Becky, and my journey actually started about 7 years ago. I was diagnosed as with uterine cancer, and that started my journey. For 4 years, I did research, and everything that I researched led back to our foods. And so I think that, whoops, I forgot to. I got to send Terry the thing real quick. Let me bring Dolly on here. I'm going to bring Dolly on. Dolly is somebody who's been using this system, and Dolly and I go way back. We're from the same hometown, and Dolly's been having some really, really great results with this system. So I'm going to have her kind of jump in and tell her story. I'm going to send a link to my other guest that's going to join us tonight. And so, Dolly, would you just kind of share a couple of things, just kind of your health journey, where you started, what made you decide to start this fiber and fasting protocol, and then what it's done for you up to this point?
Cool. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Dolly. And I used to be a napper. And I know a lot of people are probably guilty of that. You eat and then you're tired. You eat comfort food and then you go to sleep. Then you wake up, it's 9 o'clock at night. You have something to drink and you go back to sleep again. Well, I was running out of energy. I was running out of steam. And I actually went into a building in the Petoskey area because I needed to get some car work done. And the girl behind the desk, who is, her name is Tammy, isn't? I think it's Tammy. I haven't heard from her in a while. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Right.
Tammy, she was totally transformed. And I looked at her and I said, well, what is it that you're doing to look like that? She's my age. I'm 62. So, and I'm looking at her like, wow, I want what you have. So she gave me these little packets. Well, I don't have them on me right now, folks, but somebody has them in the group. You got some, Becky?
I do.
Yes,
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
She gave me 2 weeks supply of the Balance and the Mate. And I'm like, well, I'll try it. So I went home. 2 weeks later, I became a distributor. I became a partner because this stuff changed my life. It changed my life. My migraines went away. I was diagnosed with hereditary high cholesterol. So I was scared that I was going to have a heart attack at any time. And I weighed 180 pounds. By week 3, I weighed 170 pounds. Okay. I'm going to skip a whole section so I don't take up everybody's time. But now is a year and a half later, and I weigh 125 pounds, and I'm maintaining it. I do not have high cholesterol. All my numbers are normal. No more migraines. And I don't nap unless I really deserve it, by the way. But now when I nap, it's about maybe 20 minutes, and and that's something I want to explain to people is it's not a nap that you're going to sleep all day. It's just you sit down and you rest your mind and you just chill for a little bit. You know what I mean? So that and the anxiety, when I come across something that's extremely stressful, I can handle it. I'm not panicky anymore, and I take zero medication. And the only supplements I take is I take a bioenzyme, which is good for you, and I take a D3 until the sun starts coming out, and then I take nothing. But something that I really wanted to share with everybody is, and then Becky, you're familiar with this, is I had heartburn really bad, and I couldn't figure out why. And I kept blaming Unicity or mate and the balance, and I'm thinking, well, there's just something in that that's giving me heartburn. Well, guess what? That's not the truth. It was my eating habits,
Yeah.
big time.
Mhm.
Well, Becky, I'll have you know, I haven't had acid reflux in 4 weeks since I changed my diet. So, and right now I'm on a 48-hour fast. Here's my mate. And something I'll share before if we switch people is that you're not starving yourself when you
Right.
fast. You're not becoming malnutrition when you fast. And I notice that with a lot of people that I speak to about, trying the Feel Great system is, oh my gosh, I can't not eat. I can't fast. I like food. Well, let me tell you what, I'm a good cook. I like food. I love food. But I cook food that's good for me. And when I come off a fast now, so I don't get heartburn, I mean, thanks to Becky and everybody, all my partners that, I mean, I eat right. I eat avocado oil almost every day. And it's just changed my life. It really, really has. And people don't think that I'm 62 years old, but I am. So, I mean, my skin has changed. I mean, I got glasses on. I can't see without my glasses, but my skin has changed. And I go to work 8, 9 hours a day.
And you
And
run
I
your
work,
time,
yes,
and you're
yes,
nonstop all the time.
yes, yes. And I garden.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to take up all the time. I just want to say how important it is that people consider the Feel Great system and understand that it's not just a fad. It's not. This is real because I have changed. My body has transformed. I mean, I'm not going to put on a swimsuit and take a picture of myself and put it online. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. But I mean, I can put on a pair of stretch pants and a form-fitting top, that goes over top of them, and I can wear it. I can wear it and I can wear it well. And this is real. So when I cut out the bread, I love bread. I make sourdough bread, and it's like my favorite thing. I can have it every now and then. I just don't eat as much as I used to. But I had to cut out a lot of bread, and then I had to cut out fruit. Remember when John was talking about the fruit, Becky?
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie
How
was.
him
Yeah.
and Carrie, yeah. They
Yeah.
said when they couldn't figure out why they weren't losing weight because everybody thinks they need to eat, 3 to 4 servings of fruit a day. Well, that's sugar.
Yeah.
That's sugar. And it's not that you don't need to eat it, but if you need it, if you eat an apple, eat it with the peeling on it because you need that fiber. But when I cut those two things out, my weight just plummeted. And then this is one other thing, and I promise I'll quit. When you fast, and Becky, I've shared this with you. When I fast, you guys, I can start out at I start creeping up to 140, and I'm like, oh no, that is not happening again. But when I get up to like 128 or 132, I can fast, and in 3 days, I weigh 125 pounds again. Fact. That is the truth. And I wouldn't say anything that wasn't true. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's kind of my story.
Well, Dolly, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. You're going to be able to help a lot of people with that story because so many of us struggle with the same thing, right? I remember Dolly would reach out to me. She'd be so frustrated because she did everything right and she's still struggling with the, was it heartburn or the acid reflux? A little bit of
Acid
both.
reflux. It was
Acid reflux.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
oh,
we tried so many different things. We tweaked this and we tweaked that and we tried so many different things. So I know the troubles that Dolly was really, really having with that. So I'm so happy to hear
oh.
that you haven't dealt with that and that you got things figured out. So, centuries ago, Hippocrates told us that all disease starts in the gut. When you have poor gut health, right, it affects so many parts of your body. And so I'm sharing this picture right here because I want people to understand, like Dolly was talking about some weight issues. She was talking about some acid reflux issues. She was talking about needing a nap in the afternoon. Maybe those symptoms that Dolly was struggling with has nothing to do with what you're dealing with. But I can almost guarantee that those that are watching right now, there's at least 2 things on this list that you're suffering with. Now, in this big circle that says insulin resistance, I actually had cancer, right? 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I believe that I was pre-diabetic, was never officially diagnosed, but I had all the symptoms. I had chronic fatigue. I would get up and urinate in the middle of the night. I had been carrying some weight around for me and it didn't matter. It didn't matter how many calories I was cutting. It didn't matter how many carbohydrates I was eating or not eating. It didn't matter how much I exercised. And I think a lot of people that really struggle with weight issues, there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information, I think, behind the fact that we have insulin, which is a hormone that is taking over our system. It's running the show. Terry, I've got one of you on there. I'm hoping I don't remove the wrong one. Okay, there we go. And Terry and Lisa, I want to apologize right now while I'm thinking about it. I didn't realize I hadn't sent you the link, so I apologize for the late delay for you guys. So I apologize. Sorry about that. But when I started this, I was kind of talking about health issues, and so when I came across this protocol that we're discussing tonight, and we all have a little bit of a different story because we all had different health issues we were dealing with, but the same protocol that we've all taken has been able to help us achieve these results. And so that's why we're talking about this tonight. I talk primarily on my videos. If you've watched my page and you watch the reels that I post, the posts that I add, if you're on TikTok and you see me over there, I talk about food because it's the one factor that leads to insulin resistance that we can control on a daily basis, right? We choose what we're going to pick up and put in our cart at the grocery store. We choose what fast food restaurants we're going to go to. We choose how we prepare that food at home. We make those choices, and it's a simple choice that we can make to just some lifestyle choices. And so that's why we focus so primarily on food. And I'm going to get into the protocol here in just a few minutes, but I wanted to really highlight Dolly's story. I haven't had Dolly on for quite some time, but she keeps going down. I know I shared her picture here a minute ago. Let me pull that back up again. So this was Dolly at her heaviest. She was 180. Dolly, I don't know if you told me when that was or not, but was this last December when you were at 140 in the black shirt?
No, that's when I was 125 in the black shirt,
The black shirt.
I
Okay.
believe. I'm not positive. I tried to take a good picture. I'll have
Yeah.
Matt take a good picture on the next live and I'll post that.
That's all right. So, that's something that, and I think that we talk about this as well too, because so many of these health issues that we get medicated for, we're told are age-related diseases or hereditary, right? Well, of course you have diabetes. Your parents had diabetes. Your grandparents had diabetes. Of course you're a diabetic. It runs in the family. Well, of course you have high blood pressure. It runs in the family. No, it doesn't. These are symptoms of something called insulin resistance, also known as metabolic syndrome. There's a lot of different names, but it really boils down to the fact that there is a hormone in our body that is producing over and above what it needs to, because we're told from our health professionals to eat several times a day. And for a long time, and just until recently, the bottom rung on the ladder of the food pyramid told us that we should be having 7 to 11 servings of whole grains a day. I want people to understand, if there's nothing else that you take away from this, I want you guys to understand in this hour that the foods that we eat, we can control, and the carbohydrates that we eat, and we're eating a lot of them, a lot of processed foods, all convert to sugar called glucose in your system. So when I first started helping people with this, they would say to me, oh, I don't even have a sweet tooth. I don't even need a lot of sugar. Do you eat rice? Do you eat bread? Even if it's sourdough, do you eat bread? Do you eat potatoes? Do you eat pasta? Do you eat rice? Do you eat? These are all carbohydrates that turn 100% into glucose into your system. So yeah, you're flooding your system with a lot of sugar. And every single time that happens, insulin has to, unless you're a type 1 diabetic, insulin has to be secreted to handle the load of glucose in your bloodstream. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I want to turn our attention now to Lisa. So Lisa has got some really incredible, I was able to spend some time with Lisa recently in Fort Lauderdale. And she is, Dolly, I think that she would give you a run for your money as far as energy is concerned.
Nice.
Lisa is a little spitfire, but I have to show you Lisa's before and after photos. But Lisa is humble, and she's passionate about what she does. And she has just had some really, really great results. So I'm so happy that I have an opportunity to get Lisa on here and be able to share her story, because again, here's another story that will resonate with so many people. So Lisa, would you go ahead? I'm going to pull up your before and after picture here in just a minute, but would you just kind of share where you were with your health and then what made you decide to try the Feel Great system and where you are today? I mean, the picture, your after picture is going to prove where you are today, but what we don't see beyond the picture, you can kind of share with us that health journey. So would you go ahead with that?
Okay, so I always struggled with my weight. About 5 years ago, I was
Wow.
diagnosed with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, and acid reflux disease. So, my doctor got me on medicines, and my diabetes was like a 6.9. He kept getting me off my medicine, put me on different medicines. A medicine he got me on was like $100, and I'm a budget kind of girl, so I'm like, boy, that's high for me. And then there was a time where they discontinued my medicine, and I was off of it for like a couple weeks, and so I was freaking out, like, so I didn't like that. So I just thought, is this it? There's got to be something more out there than this. I was tired of just being the same. I just tired of being stuck. And so I started praying to God to get me off my medicine, and he brought me my friend Lorraine with this protocol. She started sending me stories, and I was liking it already. She said to come to a demonstration, so I did. I went to a demonstration. That's where I met John Cox. He was doing the demonstration, and I listened to his story. He had an amazing story. And what got me was the 90-day back guarantee. So I said, sign me up. So I was so determined on doing it because I knew it was from God. So I would
Amen.
I got rid of my oatmeal in the morning because that's all I ate before I went to work. I had oatmeal. I had a banana in it. I had Reese's Pieces in it. I had chocolate in it. That was my breakfast. And then when I got to work, I mean, I ate on break, which was at 9:20. I got up at 3:30 in the morning. So that's when I had my oatmeal. And plus I was eating on break. I was eating for lunch. I went home. I ate my dinner. And then I had something before I went to bed, like something sweet. So I gave away my oatmeal.
The birds love it.
So I wouldn't eat breakfast. I didn't even eat lunch neither. and I lost 50 pounds. My 3 months I've been on it, I lost 50 pounds, 68 total, and I've been on this protocol 11 months now, almost a year.
Wow.
It'll be a
Fantastic.
year in April, the end of April.
Wow.
And then before I went to the doctors in that 3 months, 2 weeks before I went to my doctors, I got off all my medicine because I wanted to surprise him. I wanted to, and he was amazed. He came out, he was amazed. Well, how did you do it? How did you do it? And I told him, and I said, look in the PDR. It's in your PDR. He said, I will, but keep doing what you're doing. So my
Yeah.
A1C was, like I said, a 6.9, and now it's a 5.4.
Wow. That's great.
And then,
How
I don't
long
have
has
high
it been?
blood pressure anymore. I don't have acid reflux disease anymore.
Woohoo!
So I'm wearing a size 8 jeans from a size 20. I have energy now. I don't ache anymore. I don't have any inflammation anymore. I feel younger. I'm 56. I
Yeah.
just turned 56 last Wednesday, and I feel like I'm 45.
Nice.
I was going to say 40, but that's
Oh,
not
no. You can say 40.
45. Okay. But yeah, I'm really
Lisa, how
happy.
long did it take? How long have you been on the system?
Almost a year. It'll be a year in April.
Look at you. You look
Okay.
stunning.
And
Yeah,
then have you
thank you.
have you been on the have you been doing the protocol properly, consistently the whole time?
Yes.
And then when did you first notice a difference in your A1C number?
When I went to the doctors, and he told
This
me.
last, yeah. Were you having
So,
that checked every 3 months?
yes.
Okay. So I always love to hear a story when they include the words from their doctor, keep doing what you're doing. I've been helping people for 3.5 years, and I lost track. I used to keep track of the count, right? How many people I've lost track. There's just too many people who will take this to their doctor and say, look it up in the PDR. That's a doctor's medical reference that they use when they're going to prescribe pharmaceuticals. And this nutraceutical, it's the only nutraceutical that's actually listed in that physician's desk reference. So you can look it up. It's a public website. It's pdr.net. You can look up if you're somebody who's on pharmaceuticals, if you're on prescription drugs, I would challenge you, as a matter of fact, I'll challenge you to just go to the pdr.net and look up. It's going to tell you about that medication, the side effects, any adverse reactions that are possible, any contraindications that are possible, and if any, boxed warnings. So we actually have our product that has 5 patents, over 20 clinical studies by places like the Cleveland Clinic, Brigham Young, Stanford University, the University of Sydney, UNLV, tons of studies. And so I want you guys to understand that this is in there. So I challenge you to ask your doctor about it. And most of the time, you're going to get the same response, right? Whatever it is, keep doing what you're doing, because it's an all natural plant-based product. It's called a nutraceutical. Nutraceuticals have the same effect as pharmaceuticals without the drugs and have clinical studies.
Right.
So we'll talk about that a little bit longer. So or a little bit later. So Lisa's A1C dropped more than a full point, a 1.5. That's incredible. Incredible. She no longer has blood pressure issues. She no longer has acid reflux issues. And Dolly's cheering with you on that one too, right? She knows how that feels.
Man.
And
Woo!
she's down. I mean, did y'all look at Lisa's
Oh my
before and
gosh,
after
she's stunning.
picture? That's incredible. Yeah. So Lisa, and I hear this all the time, and you could probably vouch for the same thing as well. People say all the time, I feel like I'm aging in reverse. I feel like I look younger than I did before starting the protocol. This before and after photo is proof, because you do look
yeah.
younger. And I've spent time with you in Fort Lauderdale. I know for a fact that you act like, and I'm even going to say a 40-year-old, right? You had the energy, you have the stand, like myself. I had, chronic restless leg syndrome. It was keeping me up at night. I couldn't sleep well. I wasn't getting any rest. The next morning, I would just drag through the day, and I couldn't drink enough coffee. I couldn't drink enough energy drinks. I couldn't drink enough pop. it didn't matter until we learned how to focus the root cause. And that's what we're going to talk about here in just a couple of minutes. But I want to turn to Terry here in just a second, because you guys are going to be just blown away from Terry's story. And I've said this before, Terry, when you've been on my live, every time I hear you tell your story, it gives me chills. I'm blown away. That's still the case. So I've got some before and after photos I'm going to share of Terry's here in just a second. But Lisa, incredible results. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy for you. And I'm so blessed to be able to get to share your story on my live. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So Terry, again, is somebody that I met through this protocol. I did not know Terry before this protocol. And Terry is, again, just a humble, right? She's gone through it recently and always had a smile on her face. If you saw her, whether it was, through a messenger phone call or in person, she always seems, Terry to me is the kind of person who will find the positive in any situation. And so for that, I'm very thankful to be able to highlight Terry's story in here tonight too, because she is really struggling with her health. And so I'm going to allow Terry to tell her story without stealing any of her thunder. And then when she's done, I'm going to be able to explain. I know y'all are waiting to find out what this exactly is that we're talking about. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but I really want to be able to have Terry share her story. So Terry, you know the drill. Let us know where you were beforehand. And then I'm just going to kind of share your before and after pictures while you're telling your story, if you would.
Okay. Hi there. Yeah, I was a year ago January, so 14 months I've been on this. And prior to that, about 6 months, my husband filed for divorce after 34 years, and he found a young man, whatever. And anyway, I was going through some major not anxiety, but my mood. I could have been very well crying my eyes out for months and months and months. I was going through a stage where I had to be strong. I had to fight for my part. Anyway, not there, but I was in a crisis mode. And when this came along, I'm like, okay, yep, new life, I'm going to new adventure, new journey, I'm going to get on this. So with that being said, for 6 or 7 years, I had fought my hand was psoriasis, eczema. I'd go to the doctor, they'd give me a steroid. It would peel, it would crack, it would bleed. And it just never healed. I mean, the last I got on was gonna be like a $1,500 cream, but I was able to fill out a paper for inks and that, and I was able to get it for $20. But even at that, $1,500, that still didn't fix it. And it was hands. And within 4 weeks of being on this protocol, my hand cleared up. That's a month. That's a month's picture of before and after. So after years of fighting that, I mean, that worth it in itself. But I also have lost weight and inflammation. I've lost a lot of inflammation. I had, the gut issues come out come out in your skin, or come out in inflammation, because a lot of what you see in this picture was inflammation.
Yeah.
And it's come down, and I lost weight and stuff like that. But in the meantime, which again, I'll go on the weight thing. I had gained like 50, 60, 70 pounds when we tried to have children and weren't able to have children, because I took infertility shots. For some reason, the hormones messed. I gained like 70 pounds, and I could never lose it. It'd been years since I got down, but I'm way down. I'm happy where my weight is, or I want to lose more, but anyway. But I also sleep better. I sleep a lot better. My mood is great. Again, I could have been whatever you call it. But man, by the Lord's help, and then this product, I was able to get through some major hurdles in my life in 2025. And it's amazing. But I also, the mood, and I just get anxiety too. I can get anxiety, and I don't have that as much. I don't have that at all, really. I mean, whatever. But my mom started this too. And within 3 weeks, I did not know she had like in her finger. I didn't know they were arthritic and they hurt her. But she goes, I'm not giving this any credit right yet, but there is no pain in my knuckles. And it used to hurt every day. And then after 5 weeks, she goes, yep, pain's still gone. And after 14 months, her pain in her knuckles is completely gone by using this.
That's incredible.
And I, so many testimonies, but yeah, it's changed my life. And I have so many people's lives that it has changed too. So.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Terry, if you would just kind of share with us the ointments, like how for your hands, right? Because you had told me before, like you couldn't even, you're a knitter or you like to crochet or knit, something like that. You couldn't crochet,
Yeah.
and you couldn't even like hold the needles. That's part of your passion, right? Your pastime is
Yeah.
crocheting. So you couldn't even do that. So how many different things do you think led up to the point where, like, what was next? If this $1,500 ointment didn't work, what was, like, did your doctor ever offer you any kind of hope or
She
like what would have been the
actually
next?
said you'll probably this the rest of your life. I remember her saying that you'll probably have this the rest of your life.
Oh man.
And actually I had the same thing on the bottom of my feet.
Yeah, I thought I
don't
had.
know why, but I think it was a reaction from some of the oils I used, whatever. But regardless, it was there for 6 years.
Yeah.
And man, walking, if it cracked and it bled and it hurt, I couldn't hardly walk either.
I want to say I thought that I had uploaded your picture of your foot, but I didn't see it here in my slides, so
Yeah.
I guess I can't share that. But yeah, I can't even imagine. I wish I did, because I can't imagine having to have walked. Right?
Mhm.
It had to have been so painful to walk with your feet that were like that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So yeah, you've had some incredible results. I'm so proud of you. Also, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have it on here. Just put your hand in here. So proud of you for sticking with it. And, you're a picture of resilience because of what, you've gone through, and then your health. And I don't know, I guess maybe you've said it before, but I don't remember you talking about trying for kids for so long. And so,
Oh yeah, we spent $1,000 trying to have kids, and of course, some of that was the shots and ovaries and all. You usually drop 2 eggs, and it makes you drop 20 eggs. So they went in and took, to fertilize the embryo stuff.
yeah.
But in that process, it messed up my hormones, and I gained like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
And of course, I had a heart in that 60 pounds. But
Yeah.
with this, it's been a game changer.
Wow.
Well, I'm so happy you're here. And so, thank you for sharing your story. Like I said, again, you're going to, resonate with somebody that's having some skin issues, or, I know you said it wasn't necessarily depression, but mood swings. And I think that a lot of times, and it's so easy for a doctor to put somebody on medication for mood swings or depression or anxiety without truly realizing that if your gut is unhealthy, that's going to lead to other things. But I really kind of want to talk about getting to the point of insulin resistance. So I'm going to bring this picture up again. And then ladies, feel free to kind of jump in and add something if you feel the need to. I'm totally okay with that. I am not a medical professional by any stretch of the imagination. And so I'm very likely to have missed something, or so just feel free to jump in and help me out if you feel so inclined. But I share this picture, you guys, because it truly is the root of today's health struggles, whether that's something that you're dealing with that's on that circle, or whether you're dealing with one of the other signs and symptoms. Insulin resistance truly has a part to play in every single metabolic health issue that we deal with. And it's not, you guys, it's not a age-related disease. It is not necessarily need to be treated with medication if it's insulin resistance, because insulin resistance is the root cause. We can reverse insulin resistance, and then when you get rid of the cause, the symptoms then happen to to go away. So I really kind of want to talk about that real quick. I'm going to, in a very non-medical professional kind of way, do my best to explain what insulin resistance is and how we become insulin resistant. Dr. Ben Bikman talks about the fact that it can take 10, 15, even upwards of 20 years for a body to become so resistant to the hormone insulin that you start seeing these symptoms of high blood pressure, acid reflux, migraines. I had daily headaches. I had migraines. I thought I had migraines because my mom suffered from them for years. And it wasn't until we understand the role that insulin has to play in every single cell of our body will we ever really understand truly how to get to the core of our of good health. And so when we're told to eat multiple times a day, right? That's what I've been told. That's what so many people that I talk to have been told. Eat several small meals throughout the day. So it used to be 3 large meals, right? Eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 large meals. And then it got to the point where no, that's too hard on your body. Let's break it down. We'll have smaller meals, but have more of them. So now have several smaller meals throughout the day. Well, what happens when we do this is the food is our fuel source. Your body is going to burn fuel from one of 2 sources, either from the food that you're feeding your body, and it doesn't matter if it's a cup of coffee and a muffin for breakfast, if it's a snack, even healthy Greek yogurt or healthy yogurt or yogurt parfait at 10 o'clock in the morning is not healthy for you. A lunch, and then you're going to have a snack, whether that's a granola bar or a Snickers bar because you're hangry and you're not yourself when you're hungry. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single time we put food and drink into our mouth, right? If there's something in there that's going to cause a blood sugar or insulin response is affecting, and we're using that food for fuel. Now, you can drink plain water, you can drink unsweet tea, you can drink plain black coffee. These things, you can drink like a soda water. These things aren't going to have an effect on your body. But I'm talking about like even diet Pepsis, even diet sodas will have an effect. Maybe not on your glucose. So before, people jump in here and say, no, I wear one of those CGMs. I have a continuous glucose monitor. I can drink a Diet Pepsi and it doesn't affect my blood sugar levels. It might not affect that, but it will be affecting your insulin. And this is the key factor that I want people to understand. We have to keep control of our insulin. So when you're eating several smaller meals throughout the day, you're constantly feeding your body a fuel source in the form of food or glucose instead of using what's stored on your body. So let me give you this example real quick. If you're driving around in your car and you stop at a gas station, you fill up your gas tank and one of those little red gas cans, and those you have 2 fuel sources, and you drive your car around until that gas tank runs empty. You have a backup fuel source, but instead of getting out the red gas can, you just stop at a gas station and fill up again. You just keep refilling that gas tank rather than using the reserve. Our body is functioning the exact same way. And when we're eating multiple times a day, we're refilling that fuel tank over and over and over again. And every single time, we're adding more to the reserve tank. Eventually, the cells in your body will stop responding to insulin because insulin has to be present to put glucose in your cells. It'll stop responding to insulin. And when you have enough of your cells that do that over time, right, a period of years, now you're insulin resistant and you have these metabolic health issues. One of the things that our food companies have done is take fiber out of our food. Take the apple, for example. When you take that apple and you juice it, you remove the fiber in the peel, you remove the fiber in the pulp. The only thing that you're left with is sugar water. It's apple flavored, but it's still sugar water. Same thing with orange juice. When you take an orange and you juice it, you've gotten rid of the pulp, you've gotten rid of the skin, you've gotten rid of every single thing that will have had a little bit of a blunt to your blood sugar, and it's just sugar water now. You've taken away the fiber. Same thing with the white rice that you see here. We're all very, very familiar with white rice. Unfortunately, when we take that out of the wild or out of the field and we strip the husk off of it and it goes through this refining process, we remove the fiber off of it, we end up with a product that's very, very high carbohydrate and very, very low to no fiber at all. Fiber has been shown, you guys, to control blood sugar levels. As a matter of fact, fiber is very important for gut health. It feeds our gut microbiome. It helps aid in IBS issues, constipation, diarrhea, skin issues like Terry was talking about, anxiety and depression. You could throw mood swings in there with that. You could throw acid reflux in there with that. The benefits of having fiber and bringing fiber back into your day is it does help to regulate blood sugar levels. It does help with weight management because fiber helps to fill you up and keep you full for longer. The thing about this fiber that we're going to talk about here in just a second, and this has a patent on this. There is a diverse blend of plant fibers in here, including viscous. In this picture over here, if you can see the spoon that's dipped into that jar, how that fiber is kind of sticking to the cup, it's sticking to the spoon. It's a viscous fiber. It coats your stomach, it coats your food. And it's been shown, as a matter of fact, in this study right here by University of Sydney, been proven to be able to reduce the impact of your blood sugar by upwards of 40% when taken before a meal. So fiber is very, very important. And then in this study right here, where you see it highlighted in blue, this was a study that was done by the Cleveland Clinic. And I really want you guys to pay attention to this because here's why I say that every single diabetic, at the very least, every single diabetic should hear about this, if not be on this fiber. Because this concluding statement by the Cleveland Clinic says this: such a product, and this is the exact product that they were studying, such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk. That's heart disease. That's the #1 killer in this country. On a population basis, in other words, anybody can take this fiber. It's just fiber, just plants, and potentially decrease the need. Did you guys catch that? It could potentially lower the need for, you might not even need it anymore, or at least lower the dose of lipid lowering drugs. That's statins. If you're on a statin, you need to know that the Cleveland Clinic studied this fiber and they showed that if taken regularly, you might not even need that statin anymore. This is why I say every single person should know about this fiber. So we take this fiber once before our carb heaviest meal. For me, that happens to be dinner. And then we also couple this protocol with something called Unimate. The really great thing about Unimate, you guys, is it helps the body naturally produce upwards of 67% more GLP-1. That means you don't need the injections. You don't need the Wegovy's. You don't need the Ozempics. You don't need the semaglutides. You don't need the GLP-1 medications. They're pharmaceuticals. They're synthetic. There's something in this Unimate, besides the fact that it's an extract of a yerba mate plant, that promotes satiety. It helps with feelings of well-being. It improves mental cognition. And it helps it helps shut off the food noise. You don't even think about food. So all of us tonight talked about how the system has helped us. It helps us with intermittent fasting. We're not eating as often. Maybe intermittent fasting has turned you off because you don't think that you can do it. With this product, you can. It actually increases GLP-1, and that's what shuts off the food noise. You're not sending messages to your brain telling you that you need an apple because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not going to eat dinner for a couple of hours. The system is amazing, you guys. The fiber's been around for 35 years. 35 years. This was formulated back in 1990. It's been around for 35 years. This one's been around not nearly as long, but it has also been studied by the Cleveland Clinic. There is a plant compound in here called chlorogenic acid, and chlorogenic acid has been found to have the same effect as metformin. So now we have two products, one that's a statin alternative and one that's a metformin alternative, and they're just plants. It is HSA and FSA approved. So if you're somebody that has an FSA or HSA, you're welcome to use that. The company is so sure that you're going to see results, measurable results. I mean, like Terry was saying, I'm sorry, Lisa was saying her A1C went from a 6.9 down to a 5.4. That's measurable results, right? And when you can get insulin under control, you'll get the same results on the scale as well. But the company says that if you don't see measurable results in 90 days, we will give you your money back. So you literally have nothing to lose. So that's what this product is, you guys. This is what we're talking about tonight. This is what we've all done that's helped us get the results that we were talking about on tonight's call. And so this is what the system is. It's two products. the one that's a yerba mate extract and the fiber. The system, you get 2 of these a day and 1 of these. You get a month's worth when you order. The system breaks down to be about $5.30 a day. When you cut out your Snickers bar, when you cut out a meal, when you cut out your Starbucks, when you cut out the snacking, the Lay's potato chips, because you know you can't eat just one. When you cut out the seed oils, when you cut out the over-processed carbohydrated foods, you will see a difference in your health. And this product is going to help you with that. So what we do is we get up in the morning and we start with the Unimate. That gets us through that breakfast meal that allows our body to burn that stored fuel, that stored fat as a fuel source. And then I stop and I have a very light protein rich lunch and then drink a second one in the afternoon. Just before dinner, I have my balance and I'm full. And I don't think about food. I don't crave food. I'm not sitting around thinking, oh man, when's dinner going to be ready? I'm so hungry. Oh man, I should have had something for breakfast before I walked out the door. I'm so hungry. Oh man, that McDonald's smells good. Listen, when I started this, I was a server in a restaurant. Every single plate of food I delivered smelled good and looked good. And I thought about it afterwards. I might have that for lunch. And then I started on this and I found myself not thinking about that anymore. The daily headaches were gone. The restless leg syndrome was gone. The migraines that I were having once a month were gone. I've had 3 in 3 years. Not to mention I was able to drop 30 pounds off the scale and I didn't exercise. I didn't count calories. I didn't count carbs. I just simply followed this system that's very easy to do. And when you order, you will have somebody that is there to help you every step of the way. We have a wonderful Facebook group that we can get you into. There is a fasting app that we can help you download that helps to hold you accountable and how the company can verify that you're following it to it, the way it's designed. And not to mention, you also get a very highly discounted price by going through one of the ladies here, $75 off the retail price. And with a 90-day money back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. So Lisa has a link that she can share. If you guys are here because Lisa tagged you, Lisa has a link that she can share with you that's going to save you that money, locked in for life. You don't have to keep putting a discount code in every single month that you order. I highly recommend the subscription because it's going to come to you without you having to think about it. Cancel whenever you want to, but do it for at least 3 months because the company says, I'll pay you your money back if you don't see the results you're looking for. Terry has a link that she can share with you that's going to save you that $75. Dolly has a link that she can share with you. We are just so happy with the results that this program has been able to offer and give to us that we are passionate and we've made it our mission to share this and get this into as many hands as possible. One of the reasons why we do these lives. And so, Dolly, I want to come back to you because I know that I started with you and you've been awful quiet for a while, but I wanted to kind of come back to you. Is there anything that was mentioned tonight, something that might have come to your mind throughout the talk this past hour that you maybe wanted to mention before we closed? Where is she? Okay, Lisa, I'm going to come to you because I don't hear Dolly. I'm not sure what happened to Dolly. Can you hear me, Lisa? What happened? Terry, can
Oh,
you
no.
hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is everybody there?
Yeah.
I hear you, Terry. I don't know what happened to Dolly and Lisa, but you can hear me, Lisa? I can't hear you though. I can see you shaking your head. I can see that you hear me, but I can't hear you now. So Terry, let me come to you until I can get the volume figured out on the other ladies. Would you, was there something that was said tonight or something that maybe I missed that you wanted to kind of fill in the gap on and add before we close for the night?
Now, I know one thing that that we're living in a time and day where the gas is going up, prices of stuff is going up, and I'm a frugal person. And I thought when I seen it, I'm like the price, but anyway, I'm so glad I took the chance because I'll be honest with you, for me, when it has cut my grocery bill down 80%.
Yes.
So I mean, the cost is like I added into my grocery budget because my grocery bill has gone down 80%. I'm not buying Cheez-Its. I'm not buying the junk food.
Yeah.
I'm not. So, and then there's a lot of people that get Starbucks, and there's a lot of people that get, I don't know, and my medicine alone, that medicine I don't have to get for $25 a month is out of my life. So it's cost neutral when you really, because there's a lot of people that got off Mason, like cholesterol. Now, I'm not saying, but there has been people that have got medicines that has saved them tons of money. So don't let that hang you up. Try and if you don't like it, you get money back. Your Weight doesn't give you your money back. All these other places don't give you your money back. So you're not out anything.
That's right. That's right. Not to mention, I mean, that's a great point that Weight Watchers doesn't, but your medications don't either. How many of us are get put on medications, and then if it doesn't work in 3 months, your insurance company pays that back. Your doctor pays that back. Nobody's paying that medication that come out of your pocket for your copay or whatever you're paying out of your pocket for your medication. You don't get that back. Not to mention, instead, the alternative to getting a refund on that, your doctor just says, well, maybe we need to up your dose. And if that didn't work, we'll just up your dose again. And maybe that's not working, so maybe we'll just add this to it. There's never any, well, you weren't happy, you weren't satisfied, you didn't see results from this medication. Here, let me just stop you and I'll pay you back for your time and effort. No, this is about the only thing that's out there that's a true gut health product that's all natural. It's in the physician's desk reference, so you can look it up yourself and you can see there aren't any side effects. There aren't any possible adverse reactions. There aren't any boxed warnings. Hello, there aren't any contraindications. What that means, you guys, if you are on a big list of medications, or even just one, it doesn't matter. If you are on any pharmaceutical prescription medications, you can still take the Feel Great system and it won't interfere with any of those. As a matter of fact, if you were to follow it the right way, work with your coach, let them help you, make sure that you're successful with this, get the results you're looking for. Chances are you won't need that long list of medications because the symptoms are gone. You've attacked the root cause and now the symptoms are gone. And so, Lisa, I don't know if I can hear you yet. I know that you can still hear me. Can you try your voice again or your volume?
Oh, no.
Dolly, I can hear you though.
Oh, wow.
Well, I can't see you. I can see your chair though.
Okay, that's okay. But I wanted to share really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why you can see my dang chair. Not sure what's going on with that. Somebody tried to call me and then everything went haywire.
Yep.
I should have, anyway. So I was cleaning out under my bed and I have big old tub under there of clothes. And I mean, there was like half inch of dust on the top of it. I pull it out of there and I'm thinking, oh, these are all my skinny pants. Okay. I take these out of there and there's like 8 pair in there because I was going to buy new clothes. And I'm like, woohoo, I hit the jackpot. Pulled them out. They're a size 6 and they fit. They're a little bit tight on my hips because that's Mother Nature,
Yeah.
I had 3 boys. So
That's mother. That's just mother. That's just being a mother.
and I don't feel bad about that at all. And nobody should feel bad.
Yeah.
Because our bodies change as we age and gravity pushes us down. But every pair of those pants fit me. I washed them up. Now I don't even have room in my drawers anymore for jeans. And I didn't spend the money to go buy new clothes. So I thought I was so excited about that. And they're nice pants too. That's the pants I used to wear when I worked in an office. And I'm like, wow. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, these actually fit me. I was 20 years old when I wore those pants. And now I'm 62. So I'm pretty proud
That's incredible.
of that. And I attribute that.
That's a free shopping trip.
It's a free shopping trip. I mean, and I attribute it to the Feel Great system.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, 100%. I don't take Excedrin. I used to eat like your mom.
Yeah.
I used to have Excedrin. I go through a bottle of those great big ones from Walmart in a week.
Yep.
I take 100 Excedrin a week just to stave off a migraine.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything
and then
to
you
stop
become
that.
addicted.
Yeah. The only thing, my mom popped Excedrin for years because she always had migraines. And at the time, they didn't have these, you know, where you can get this piercing right here in your ear somewhere.
Oh,
And
yeah. I
you didn't
tried
have all
that.
these different things. And she did Excedrin, and it never took away her migraines because they didn't target the root cause. We didn't get to the reason why the migraines were there to begin with, but it did end up giving her a bleeding stomach ulcer. But
Oh,
Dolly,
yeah.
to go back to your story, it's kind of cool because I'm a mom of 6. So I've given birth 6 separate times. And I remember like losing some weight and going, these hips ain't never going to fit into a size 6 again, ever. Like, I mean, I think when I got married, I was 124 pounds. I wore a size 6 jean out of the hospital 2 days after giving birth to my first child. Like I was a beanpole.
Same
But
here.
I thought I'll never, ever, ever fit into a size 6 again. But that wasn't the case, you guys. That was me trying on a pair of 6 jeans in a dressing room about a year ago, because I
Nice.
thought, you know, I'm just gonna grab these size. Why not? What's it gonna hurt, right? And so I'm like, oh yes,
The
because
stretchy
when
ones.
you
I wear the stretchy ones. Those are better too.
yeah, because when you target, see, here's the thing, insulin is a hormone, and we actually call it's known as the fat storing hormone. So if you're counting calories, you're still not losing weight. If you're on a diet roller coaster and you lose some, but it comes back, and you lose some and it comes back. If you're on this vicious cycle of just not being able to maintain weight loss, problem is you probably have too much insulin in your body storing fat. So you might lose a little bit, but it's going to come back because you're eating.
100%.
And I was just talking to somebody, as a matter of fact, on my Facebook, I have a video up right now, and somebody responded that she at one point in time was over 300 pounds. She's been a diabetic for 16 years. She's done all the right things. Listen, I am here to tell you, again, not a medical professional, and I am not ever offering medical advice, but I am here to tell you from what I've learned and from what I know right now, we aren't eating the right way. Because if you're told for
Absolutely.
years, several small meals a day, make sure you eat your oatmeal first thing in the morning. Listen, Lisa, after my cancer diagnosis, I threw all my white bread, white pasta, white flour all away and switched everything to whole grains. It didn't make a difference because you're still flooding your system with glucose, because nobody tells us that whole grain bread that's supposed to be so much better for you still converts 100% to glucose.
Starch.
Nobody tells you that. I mean, I did the steel cut oats, and I didn't put bananas in mine, but I would put walnuts and raisins. And you better be sure that I had a big glass of orange juice with it and a couple pieces of toast. Like that was my morning. That's how I started my morning. And I thought, and I would do this smoothie. When you pulverize things in a blender, you guys, you're breaking down that fiber. Now it doesn't have the effect that it could have. This is why whole fruits and vegetables are so important. So, but we don't know what we don't know. And this is one of the reasons why we do these lives, is so that people know that what they were doing and not getting any results from, this is why, right? So
Yeah,
if
this is
you
the
think
answer.
if you think that you've done everything right, chances are you were just as lost as the 4 of us were before finding this protocol. So please reach out to us. It's a 90-day money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Lisa, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to have you come on here at the end and share your story, but I will tell you, girlfriend, you are glowing and you are beautiful, and I love the new
Yes.
look. And I wish I could hear you. I'm so sorry I can't hear you.
I
Oh,
can read lips. She's happy.
she's happy. She's happy. I know that. She's had a lot of things going on in her life recently, and she's a very, very happy woman. And Lisa, we're so happy for you. And you do look 40. And I spent some time with you in Fort Lauderdale, and you act 42. So girlfriend, take that and wear it. It's okay.
We ain't old.
Terry, I'm so happy for you as well. And I know that you've got some really great things happening in your life. And girlfriend, if anybody deserves it, it's you. And so, yeah, we love you very much. And so we're just very happy for you. Thank you, ladies, all for being on my live and for coming here and sharing your stories. I appreciate every single one of you. And you all know I will have you back another time. But for tonight, if you guys have any questions, please, and even if you're watching this as a replay, please reach out to one of us. If Lisa, I know Lisa was tagging a bunch of people. I know Dolly did. Terry, I don't know if you did or not, but if somebody tagged you or they shared this live with you, please get back with these ladies, because they want to be able to help you get to the root cause and get your health issues taken care of. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.